Two young Nigerians are dead, executed by the very security forces meant to protect them. One was shot in the head while tied up and begging for his life in Delta State. And the other, a 24-year-old NYSC copper, was gunned down through his locked bedroom door in his own home in Abuja. On the same week that Nigerians were celebrating Angélique Kidjo's powerful new album with Davido and Ayra Starr, and also watching Benson clap back at Fajo. This is the painful contradiction Nigeria is ending April 2026 with. And before we get into the details, waivers, do me a quick favor. Like this video, hit that subscription button right now, and while you are there, tap the notification bell so you never miss a new video when it drops. Also share this post so more Africans and concerned people around the world, they can join and stay updated on the unfolding situations. Let's get into it. On Sunday, April 26, 2026, in Effurun, Delta State, a police officer shot a bound, helpless, fully cooperating man in the head at close range in broad daylight. And every second of it was recorded on video, and the video is about 90 seconds long. And in those 90 seconds, you see everything you need to see about what certain arms of the Nigerian state has become. Mene Ogidi was 28 years old, and his friends called him OG Million. He was lying on the ground with his hands and legs tied bound when the video begins. He could not move, he could not run, he could not reach for anything. He was completely at the mercy of the officers, surrounding him, and he knew it, so he did the only thing available to him. He talked, he begged, saying he would tell them everything, that it was his friend who deceived him, and he would lead them to him, saying his friend was a sapele, and repeated every version of this over and over, not resisting, not threatening, not just giving the officers exactly what they said they wanted, which is cooperation, information. He was offering them his freedom in exchange for his life. ASP Nuru Usman, who was off duty, known in his operational area by the name Ogegbe, cocked his rifle. He shot Mene Ogidi in the head, and the other officers at the scene then lifted his body and put it in the police vehicle. And this was one that was clearly marked Nigerian Police Force, the Effurun Rural Area Command, Delta State. And they drove away, they left behind whatever was left at the scene. Let's take a look at the video.
I will tell you everything. I don't know anything concerned. 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 I will carry you to something like this. I will carry you to the officer. I will carry you to the officer. Officer. I will carry you to the officer. I will carry you to the officer. No. I don't know, officer. I
And according to the reports from prominent Nigerian human rights activist Harrison Gwamshu, his testimony said that he was shot at the station, not even at the venue it occurred. Let's take a look.
All right, so ASP Ogbede, as they call him, Usman Nuhu, was formerly with SARS. After the NSARS protest, they changed the name to RRS. He moved them to RRS, and then from RRS he moved to a division called Ela Division in Delta State, where he was later removed again and moved to Warri, where he became a team member with the area commander Effurun. The young man that was killed he went to pick up a whale bill. Someone sent a whale bill, so he went to pick up a whale bill on Sunday. So after he picked up the whale bill, I don't know what transpired at the park, but they said they suspected that something was fishy with the way the pack, the Waybill was looking like. So they told him to open it, which he did, and they discovered gun, a pistol with live ammunition. And then the area, the park, or that's the park, the people that works at the park, they held him and then tied him. They now reach out to the area commander, ACP Shaba, to inform him of what transpired. Now the area commander said he now called the team, the available patrol team, to go to the park, Effurun park, to go and pick up Mene Ogidi from, because he was being held. So from nowhere, ASP Usman was not on duty. He now joined them. He said he carried his gun and he now joined them. And when they got to the park, they brought out the boy to him, turned over the boy to them, for them to pick the boy to the station. From nowhere, he opened fire and he shot the boy. Now, from the video, you could see where the boy was even telling them that somebody now send me, make a car and go the person, like he want to take them to the person in Saple. But from nowhere, the ASP shot at him twice. They now moved him into the Siena, took him to the area commander's office. In the police station, he also shot him again 3 times again. That was where he killed Mene. This was what transpired. So nobody knows who sent Mene to pick up the Waybill. Nobody knows who owns the gun that they found with Mene. Nobody knows. But this was what transpired on Sunday. So when it happened, nobody posted it. Everywhere was silent. Like they were trying to hide everything until somebody who was there, who videoed it, now forwarded it to me and now posted it on his Instagram page. I said, no, it's not, you can't hide such thing. It's not possible. This is cruel way to die. Now, if this boy is the owner of that gun, that means he has somebody, he has people he's working with. He would have led police to go and arrest more people. So why will police kill this young man? Possibly they want to cover up something. And that's why we are protesting both on the social media page, and currently we are going to worry to find out what really transpired. Why will policemen shoot somebody, kill somebody that they've not heard from? They've not even heard from him to know who owns the gun the Waybill he went to pick up from the park. This was what transpired.
The police said operatives from the Effurun area command had received a credible intelligence that Mene Ogidi was attempting to Waybill a parcel containing a Beretta pistol with 4 rounds of ammunition at the Benin Motor Park along the Warri-Sapele Expressway. He claimed he did not know what was in the parcel, and he claimed that a friend had deceived him. He was also offering to prove it by leading them to the friend. And maybe he was telling the truth, maybe he was not. That question does not matter for the analysis of what happens next, because what happens next was not a legal outcome that depended on the answer to that question. In Nigeria's legal system, suspicion of a crime, even if confirmed guilty of a crime, does not carry the death penalty. And it certainly does not carry the death penalty administered on the ground by a police officer with a rifle in front of colleagues without hesitation while the suspect is being tired and begging. And what ASP Usman did was not a split-second decision under pressure. It was a deliberate execution, and the video shows the deliberation. The cocking of the rifle, the pause, the shot, the deliberation is what makes it impossible to just explain away. And the institutional response, it moved faster than what we typically see, as Delta State Commissioner of Police, CM Oneyiyi. He condemned the act as extrajudicial killing with no justification and ordered the immediate arrest of ASP Usman. And Nigerian police force nationally condemned the shooting, with Inspector General of Police Olatunji Rilwan Disu ordering Usman's immediate dismissal. Let's take a look.
To the 4th headquarters in Abuja. The officers were compelled to face the full weight of the internal disciplinary machinery without delay. The 4th disciplinary committee was already in session, and I directed that ASP Nuru Usman and the other superintendents of police face FDC directly. At the same time, the 3 inspectors involved were tried by Odleru Trial Tribunal. Findings and recommendation. The investigation confirmed without any ambiguity that ASP Nuru Usman acted in gross violation of Force Order 237, which governs the use of firearms in Nigerian police, and established standard operating procedures of Nigerian police. No level of criminal suspicion against a citizen justifies extrajudicial killing. Our duty is to protect lives, not to extinguish it. The following recommendations have been made. Dismissal from service. The MDC and Odleru Trial have all recommended immediate dismissal of ASP Nuru Usman and the other officers involved in this matter. Criminal prosecution. Upon dismissal, all officers will be handed over to the appropriate judicial authorities to face criminal charges for unlawful homicide. Police Service Commission ratification. In line with the constitutional requirement, I have formally forwarded these recommendations for dismissal to the Police Service Commission for final ratification. Let me state for records, the actions of these officers do not reflect the value, training, or standard of the Nigerian police force. They acted against the police proper procedures and violated Force Order 237. The Nigerian police is an institution built on the rule of law and will have zero tolerance for lawlessness within our ranks. No uniform is a license to kill. No uniform is a license to kill. My message to the people of Delta State and all Nigerians: I extend my deepest condolences to the family, friends, and community of late Mene Ogidi. A life has been lost, and no statement can fill that void. But I give my word, justice will not only be done, it will be seen to be done. I appeal to the residents of Delta State and the nation at large to remain calm and law-abiding. Do not take laws into your hands. The era of impunity is over. We are demonstrating that every citizen, regardless of their uniform, is accountable under.
Usman and the other officers at the scene were transferred to Force Headquarters in Abuja to face the Force Disciplinary Committee and to stand trial for murder. Delta State PRO SP Bright Edafe confirmed it on Channels TV, and he said that the officers will be tried for murder, and he also said that the behavior could not be explained professionally and the spirituality was not far from his mind as an explanation. Let's take a look.
But let's talk about what exactly happened and maybe walk us through, because we saw the statement from the DCP, who is the Force Public Relations Officer. But let's hear from your end what you know and what we need to know. And in addition to that, please also speak to the appearance of those policemen, whether that is the modus operandi and what unit is allowed to dress like that.
All right, I'll start with the issue at hand, which is a very sad issue. Since my 6 years of public relations, this is my most difficult moment, because having an incident that cannot be explained is very difficult. There is no explanation for this. That policeman, I just don't get what I would say was wrong with him. You know, police cannot attribute problem to spirituality, but that may not be far from it, because that's the only explanation that one can give to what he did.
Now, Waywayves, I want you to sit with our sentence. A police spokesman struggling to explain how an ASP in civilian clothes shot a banned man dead while colleagues watched, and he reached for spirituality. Not a training failure, not a recruitment failure, not a supervision failure, not a culture failure, spiritual. What that reach tells you is not that Bright Edafe is a foolish man, he's not. What it tells you is that the institutional language available to Nigerian security force spokesperson It does not have a category for what actually happened because the category will require naming what actually produced it. ASP Nuhu Usman did not arrive at this act from nowhere, and activist Harrison Gwamnishu, who helped amplify the video and who has worked in Delta region for years, alleged that this officer has a prior history of extrajudicial killings. So the question is, who reviewed this file? Who promoted him to ASP? Who assigned him to lead operations? Who received previous complaints about him and did nothing? The arrest of the visible perpetrator is the accountability the system can perform publicly in 48 hours. The accountability for the system that has made him is the accountability that requires years of determined institutional pressure to even begin, and that Nigeria has not yet found the sustained political will to produce. And the victim's mother has spoken. She said, Mene Ogidi is our second son killed by the Nigerian police. Imagine, not the first, the second. She's a woman who has now buried two sons taken by the same institution that is promising swift, transparent, and absolute justice for the second one. She quoted her son's word from the video, and she did not seem to expect the justice being promised. I mean, she has heard those words before. Let's hear from the mother and the siblings.
They suffer for so. The big thing they got the block with them. Now, the other one, the first kid, now follow this one with the kid. That's so. What they do police? What they do police? Video when they put to for radio yesterday. Yeah, when the pikin they tell they say. Now somebody. Make space for them.
They don't kill her. The person they both follow me. Now my brother and my everything because now if they see and see me see her, you know, get where I don't go for this before I'm married, before anything. Even when I'm married, so why did they call her? When I know they call her for phone, my son buy new shoe. Now, but I mean, first they call. That very day when the thing happened, so that was Sunday when he say come up for house. So now he call they tell me say, say he won't go collect Waybe. Say a friend say make he help her. He pray for Sapele make he help her pick Waybe. He say the friend, the number, his phone now so get issue. Say he no go fit call her. Me my mom help her with his phone. May he use. So now he call collect the phone for my mommy and he call send card put for inside. When he send card put for inside, he call the person with my mom phone. The person call send her money where go fit take transport to go the place. He call they tell me say sister, where be say I go fit reach there quick and easy because the shop where the person send me so I still like get more profit for inside the transport. And let me go to make it just enter motor straight from garage to roundabout. They go just park for the Sapele Park front. He call say okay now I cut a go. In the evening, I never come. If friend never come, if friend come meet me say say somebody call her say they arrest OGU. Because everybody they call her OG, the entire everybody now OG they know what to be. They call say they arrest OG. Now say they arrest OG. He call collect OG. I call the customer can give her OG number. He said because your phone door off. I call give her we call OG call you know they pick. So now we call just day like that. On the morning, on Monday morning, my other brother call us say if now arrest the arrest her. Now when we go find her for station. He go all the old station. He went to Ekpa, Mopo Base, Ebrumede, A division, B division. He go each and every one of them. They say they never hear that kind, they never see. Later again, he call on Tuesday again. He call go those places around. Went back again. One of his friends in Mopo call follow and go back to Ekpa police station. They say they don't see anybody, they don't know anybody like that. So now we call, they cut us okay. The waiting don't remain and now we post the picture. That was yesterday. Now we call post the picture missing person. My husband called because my husband travel. They cut us say make her send her the picture too. My mom got to say, one of your friends say me they send a clearer picture. As they send a clearer picture, now my they send the video give my husband. My other brother to the picture when he sees they send the video give her. Now won't me be last person to see the video for the three of us. Only for us to come. They say
when somebody send me the video of my brother when police they shoot and die. My brother the key so. Maybe next month to me once issue day the time not be everything I be follow my sister talk. Me and I go talk. Sometimes work they press me. I go call am go do like this for me. Anything I like I give am. Even my son when they stay with us on my mama house. Now he dey help me dey discipline am because he don't want make the boy work a bad way. Everybody for say that they say that they say that peace loving person. You know the fights. You know join court when I know of. You know the thief. Me now me they work as a plumber. They work for me as a senior brother because I actually learned this plumbing work from my papa. Then for my brother always want to be musician. Now he dream be that. For area and local celebrity, anytime we do carnival for here, now they be the star act. Now they close the party. Somebody now call me. Say they arrest my brother. Now then I start to look for my brother for all the police stations there. I go Ekpan twice, I go Brumebe, I go Division, I go Mopo Barak. All the police stations for Uwe and Wari, I waka all of them. I no see my brother. Only for me to from there say, okay, I dey go back to work, make I go there for site, look my small work, and I dey do. Now somebody send me the video of my brother when police dey shoot am die, they tie am, he no dey fight them. He never marry. He still able to stay with my mama for house. If you enter my mama parlor, you see the double share there at them minute they sleep. Because he always dey tell you say he go blow, then he go take care of everybody. He wants to make his wife enjoy. Then sometimes when we go to his house, we do normal freestyle. But they show me this song when he writes.
And now the comparisons to the EndSARS that has flooded social media, the moment this video went viral, are not rhetorical hits. They are a precise historical memory being applied to a current fact. In October 2020, weeks of protest against the Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SARS), it culminated at the Lekki toll gate in Lagos, where soldiers opened the fire on peaceful protesters. And the Nigerian army denied that it happened, and CCTV footages were deleted. A Lagos judicial panel subsequently documented the killings, and their report was submitted to the governor, where it was publicly received, and then it was shelved. No soldier has been prosecuted for Lekki, no one. Not the soldiers who fired, not the commanders who ordered, not the officials who deleted the footages. And now let's take a look at the public reactions to this killing. We first have Kunle Edun, who is the son. He commended the people who, or the person who recorded, and he said that the Nigerian Bar Association is going to be very involved in this. He said they won't just leave it to the police. Let's take a look.
I want to also thank the person that did that recording. Because assuming Ogede Mene will be taken from Effurun Park at that Effurun roundabout, on the way to Ekpan police station, assuming along the road, they shot him dead. It has happened before.
Yeah.
Nobody would have known. We'll be hearing different stories that when he was trying to run away, in the course of attempting to arrest him, you understand, he was struggling with the police to get their gun, and they shot him. But this time around, that is not the case. Somebody recorded what happened. We don't know the person. I must commend that person. And that brings for the issue of police stations, police facilities, including DSS, and probably EFCC too. All security operatives, they should be wearing body cams, like they do in the US. And CCTV should also be installed at various police stations, because many atrocities are going on. Like between yesterday and today, even some of my colleagues sent me information about other atrocities that are still yet to view. In this wise, I am working with the NBA. The NBA president, Alpha Mosiwe, spoke to this issue yesterday. Actually, he released a press statement. Even NBA will release a press statement. So the NBA is going to be very well involved in this. Because the NBA president has directed the NBA branches in Warri, Uju, and Effurun. So I will likely be leading that team to get involved in this matter, work with the police, work with the Ministry of Justice, Delta State. In fact, as I'm leaving, we are going to speak with the AG or the Solicitor General of Delta State on how we are going to follow up this matter, because investigation at this stage matters very well. So,
and Omoyele Sowore has warned the IGP Tunde Jisu, saying that he is playing with EndSARS 2.0. Let's take a look.
And EndSARS 2.0 coming up soon. Yes. You can tell already by the immediate reaction of Nigerians that they hate police brutality. And if you see the guy who shot him, he was not in uniform. Most of them who are committing these atrocities are the former SARS people they should have dismissed from the police, who are still in the police force. They are the ones carrying out these extrajudicial killings. They can never change. And they know them, but they are the ones they rely on most to do dirty jobs, because they bring in the highest amount of returns. They didn't know who took the video. Otherwise, they could have killed the person who also took the video. That's how wicked the Nigeria police is. That's one sobering moment for all of us, especially those of us who work on the front lines of fighting against police brutality. These things are not new. When we tell you that police has been killing people, extrajudicially, that was what led to EndSARS. And now they've done it again. It shows that we shouldn't have let off against these policemen even after EndSARS. I have been saying it that the police did not change their ways. They only hid their atrocities more from the public. And I've seen, what you saw that day is what happens every day, even here in Abuja. At the SARS, the former SARS, the place they call Abattoir. Anybody that is brought, they shoot the person right away, immediately. They have determined that if you are caught in a certain place, you must be shot. And most people don't survive it, but you don't get to see it, except you see it on camera. In January, I was using my glasses to cover police atrocities, collection of bribery. The former Inspector General of Police, the disgraced Inspector General of Police, took me to court for using my glasses to cover police atrocities. Few months later, a judge ruled that everybody has a right to cover the police whenever they are committing, whether they are committing an atrocity or not. I hate to advertise these glasses, but they are very important for everyone to get. But you may not always be lucky with glasses, so find other means that are hidden to record police atrocities. Because if somebody hadn't recorded this, we would not have. In fact, they were covering it up. I think this thing happened as of April 5. It happened on Sunday. On Sunday? Yes. But they didn't know who took the video. Otherwise, they could have killed the person who also took the video. Yes. That's how wicked the Nigeria police is.
Barrister Marshall claims that the most corrupt police are in Delta State. Let's watch it.
The Delta State Police Command, as we know, is a cesspool of corruption. The men and officers of the Delta State Police Command, as of today, are only interested in clamping down and arresting persons they suspect of being Yahoo boys. And they extort these young men who complain to us daily. And we've had the need to intervene in such matters. I have situations where they raid hotels and they begin to charge these young men monies to be paid for their liberties. Is that what policing is about in a democracy? For how long will these men in black continue to see the Nigerian people as the enemy or as a means to elevate themselves outside penury? The government must conscientiously act. The police hierarchy must take very drastic steps to further educate their men and officers in black. The Supreme Court has said in several authorities that the Nigerian police force has lost total touch with modern day realities of policing. And they have now positioned themselves as true enemies of the people. So much so that when you see these men on black, you no longer have any regard for them. Because this is the lowest ebb they can ever be. We are calling on the police force, the IGP, and every authority in government today that the officers responsible for this dastardly act must be brought to book immediately. And the Nigerian policemen, particularly those who were part of the old SARS, I think there is a need for them to embark on serious
And influential people in the entertainment industry have also come out to lend their voices. Nigerian comedian Aproko has raised concerns over the role of logistics company in the controversial killing of a 28-year-old man in Delta State, arguing that logistics companies are expected to inspect and verify items before rebilling them and selling them off for delivery. He said that the company involved should be investigated, particularly the staff member who handled and approved the shipment. Let's take a look.
I greet una especially. I go try control the way I go talk. Which one be I go try? Omo. I beg this video where they go, where they viral like this. Nobody say they go viral, because everybody does see them. This boy where they buy for Delta State. When they say he go receive Webby, And the company, the transport company, cause say may open the way be where they don't already bring come. I don't follow na the drag. Na correct you know na do. But even this transport company, they see na problem on yourself put on yourself. Do you know that way be one that say they open when person won't call receive? Person won't call receiver now na say they open now. What they do when they from where they bring her they come? Who will be that thing? Who be the staff? We check that way, we collect money. Because normally, when being a sort of as a bring come, you sort of check the thing before you carry on. Una carry the thing. You know the way people don't see things bad, they see them the other way. Una collect the thing, reach the data finish. The boy come to collect and then una say may open up. Then una see what una see inside. Una call police. Nice one. Nobody follow una they argue. But if they see una fault, una sort of check out from where that thing they come from. So we want know who collect that thing. Who be the person who collect that thing. Una staff who collect that thing, will I know that person? Down at number one. No start from there. Then una call police. Police come. Usman. And yes, I just out the verse. Another question I be this.
And here is Nollywood legend Kanayo Okanayo. His reaction to the killing of the unarmed man, 28 years old suspect by police officer in Delta State. Let's take a look.
I'm working in Delta State, and I'm going to speak about the unfortunate incident and extrajudicial killing of Mene in part of Delta State. It's very unfortunate, and everything must be done to that officer to show that Nigeria is not a monkey country where things can happen. And this has touched my heart to speak because I work in the movie industry where the props and set people handle guns, fake and real. Now, what has happened in that part of Delta State must be addressed by the IG of police by himself, Tunji Dusi. So please take this seriously. If we have these reports like this, my son could be involved, your son could be involved. So let's not sweep this matter under the carpet. For trigger-happy policemen who are still in the force, it's unfortunate. I have said it on good notes. Whenever you take another life, the police will just run you under the bus because you'll not be answering to the state. What has happened in Delta State, this extrajudicial killing, is very unfortunate. But let the law take its course. Now, what am I making this video for? I work with people in the movie industry. You can see I'm a movie set now. This is our camera and so on. I work with people in the movie industry. Most times they load their props, guns inclusive, fake and so on. If this kind of officer meets somebody in the movie industry who even have fake guns, will he be patient to listen to the plea that I work in the movie industry? Can you call this person? If this officer could not listen to that young man and found him guilty and murdered him, it's a murder case, not killing, murder case. How much more somebody who's in the movie industry? So please, I'm urging all my colleagues who work in the props and sector, go to the nearest police headquarters or command. Get your licenses for fake guns because the movie industry is not about to close. We are still operating. Get it and get on standby always to go to the police to service your license, your orders, and so on, so that we don't have this kind of trigger-happy policemen at the helm of affairs anywhere in Nigeria. Please do this as a matter of urgency. God raise the soul of Mene, but please, our dear newly...
And Lasisi Elenu raises the question, asking if this is our new norm.
For way too long, Nigerians have been outspoken and vocal about the illegality and the bad and poor and terrible leadership of our leaders and people in power. For way too long, we have spoken when chance have permitted us. We have shared our voices, but it looks like every now and then we need to be reminded that words cannot just solve the Nigerian corruption, the Nigerian lawlessness and recklessness. It is clear that actions must come into reality. Actions must come into play. You wake up every day and you are met with some sort of a news that will just put you in a state of sadness and pain. Now, I'm sure a vast majority of us might have stumbled on this video. I just saw this video at the late hours of yesterday, and I was, what is wrong with Nigeria? What is going on? How did we get here? How did we get to a point where in 2026, an officer, a police officer, feels he has the power, authority to execute somebody in broad daylight? It's like you people don't know what you are starting. You don't know what you are. I think EndSARS was a piece of a puzzle that is yet to be completed. And by the special grace of God, 1,000 times more than EndSARS would reoccur in Nigeria so that normalcy can be restored in this country, because it is appalling. There is lawlessness in the country. There is illegality in the country. An average Nigerian has come to terms with this. But I'm telling you now that we are standing up against brutality, and we will continue to stand against it. Whether you people have allowed it to be a way of life, we will continue to speak against it and march forward to correct that notion, because this is abnormal that a police officer would restrain someone broad daylight on the street. Children are passing by, innocent people are witnessing such havoc going in. Like, we are living like animals. Even animals do not live like this. This police officer, from what I have been reading online and every information I have gathered, it is clear that this is a notorious officer. And it is so appalling that the Nigerian police force continues to enable officers like this. An officer who has had a report one too many times will still be kept under the academy, under the police protection, will not be sanctioned, dismissed and jailed. An officer would have one too many, several times bad reports, and that kind of officer will still be operating under the Nigerian police force. Is it not concerning? Is it not disturbing? I don't care what the guy did. I don't care whether he was found in possession of a gun. I don't care what his offense was. You cannot tell me that is sent. So what is now jungle justice? How can we on one hand preach against jungle justice and yet a police officer is executing someone in broad daylight? It will never make sense to anybody. You know what is the most horrific and saddest thing to think about? The odds are constantly against an average Nigerian. You are scared of bandits. You are scared of thieves. You are scared of... Now you are scared of police. We've always been scared of the police. But is it now this bad? Is it now this bad that a police officer in broad daylight would tie someone, would restrict someone, and just execute them in broad daylight, regardless of what that person's crime is? Nothing in this life could have prepared me for that video. Nothing that he did or could have done made him deserve to be executed like that on the streets. This is a madness. And to the Commissioner of Police in Delta State, Mr. Yemi Oyeniyi, we cannot continue to enable criminals that want to infiltrate the system, because you will make a very unconducive and a hostile environment.
And this is the reaction of Gege. He posted this on TikTok. Let's take a look.
Frustrated Nigerians. Today, I regret to be a Nigerian. It's a shame to be a citizen of this country. They call on the Nigeria government to look into the Delta State Police Command. These people, they commit atrocities on a daily basis. Last month, March 31st, Delta State Police, they pursue one boy. The boy called run enter inside river. Instead, the police enter the river, carry the boy, they run, leave the boy. The boy called drown inside the water, he died for there. People protest that last month. The matter gone silent. Now, barely 1 month now, the same Delta State Police, on a broad daylight, crack gun, shoot somebody for broad daylight. For person we say they tie. Person with they defenseless, he shoot the boy for broad daylight. My pain and fear Now the manner where that officer they shoot that boy. That mentality of if I shoot you, say nothing go happen, I bet waste time. Which means not be the first time of doing something like because the confidence where the officer they shoot that boy, bro. That's not the first time. He don't do something like that. We say go away with many times. The confidence because best way we say you before your presence in that scene, people already capture the person. They tie the boy, which means in no way that boy was never a threat. That boy not be threat to this police officer. A suspect with the cash where they already tied. He did defenseless. What you're supposed to do as a police officer now? Carry this boy go police station. Investigation go they go on. As you tell us, okay, you know people will send out the gun, will send out message, not be get them. Now go into investigation, arrest more people, go into investigation, make they see the truth of the matter. But this police carry law into his hand with confidence of say, bro, give me bullet. He collect bullet from the other one. He blast the boy, he waste time. That's not the first time, bro. That confidence, not the first time confidence be that too. That's not they happen before. I'll share my own personal experience with you. He said last month, me, my driver, my manager, we come out for that Ubromo area. Police they come from that side. They just say their normal van, not be checkpoint too. Cause that day I did this my C300. I not drive my GL. That my C300, that white one. Now we did. I did the back. My manager and my driver they front. As usual they drive, they go for that Ubromo side. Before I look, normal road, not me say we dey wrong lane. No police just they not they checkpoint. They just they pass normal slide, normal police. Before we look now they all come down because the place you go slow down small because small hold up day. Now they just stop their motor, stop the car, and then they all crack gun. Shoot the enter front of my car, not be play. Then they come from this, and not be say they come from we know they.
And here are some of the reactions of Nigerians in the streets. Let's take a look.
Listen, don't finish, you will go for murder.
I become a slaughtering. Nigeria is a slaughtering ground. For me, I call Nigeria a terrorist country.
My own younger brother, police, nothing the boy do, police use machete, come out in leg, just cut in leg like this. The boy nearly die. Only luck what I get for that matter because the way the thing used to happen and people were involved of that case, police treat the guy, treat my brother. I know how much they spend for that guy leg. I didn't say the thing not happen like that. The condition of my brother, I am for day. God just open this one, where happen. God just, no be today that young man begin to do the thing. And to the guy they do that thing for a purpose. If they follow the boy up, you go see say you get people where send down.
So the policeman they cover for people where...
Yes, now if you follow that guy up, I'm gonna tell you get people where send down that message. You get people where send down that message. How you go see somebody? You know, you go, what of those people where they there they look at? What of those people where they there they look at? Make you explain. The boy they shout. You know why you're waiting the boy they shout. The boy they talk. You know why you're waiting the boy they talk. Upon time, upon every okay, just watch before he shoot the guy. I think he says the gun. I don't know what the gun want to do. He tried to put the gun together. See what the gun do that time.
The police spokesmanship for Delta State don't talk today. Say he don't know what happened. Say police don't believe in spirituality, but they believe say this thing will happen for Delta State. Spirituality there inside.
Nothing like police. Police nobody do spirituality past police. If police need you, no, leave that side. You go only talk to cover himself. You know go tell me say no now about all this atrocity. What those men then they cause for there.
Carry the guy go Abuja. They cover the face. People say why are they covering?
Now the same thing happened to my own junior brother. For this anti-kidnapping way there for waiting in the collar for Eleparanwa Road. Okay, make I see the guy where machete my brother. They no fit show me the guy. All of them was like, make I know this, I beg. No, they don't transfer the guy. Begin to do as if then they cover them up. Or make I just see the guy. They say I should forget, say they will take care of everything. Even me and my brother will go to waiting in the corner. Human rights. They tell me as long as then they take care of the boy. Say make I no worry. Because if I didn't say they not take care of them, ban the guy, then will come in. That is why I keep quiet.
You are a victim of police.
Yes, now my own junior brother, this leg here, this bone where they are not there with the boy again. Tell me what the boy do you nothing.
And what Nigerians got from the EndSARS was the formal disbandment of SARS and the creation of a replacement unit called SWAT, that is the Special Weapons and Tactics Team. And the promise was that a new unit with a new name and new recruitment criteria would produce different conduct. And ESP Nuru Usmani operated as part of the reformed post, the EndSARS police architecture. And the vehicle bears the same name of the Effurun Area Command, the institutional successor to everything EndSARS was supposed to have changed. But yet, 6 years after the protest that shook Nigeria to its foundations, a bound man is being shot on camera. His mother says that is her second son, and the system has been reformed, but the killings continue. And youth have protested around Warri and Effurun, and the force has promised justice will be swift, transparent, and absolute, and every one of those words has been used before about previous cases by previous spokespeople, and the trajectory of those cases is the honest context for evaluating how much weight to place on them now. ESP Usman is in Abuja, and his trial has been promised. The country is watching. And Mene Ogidi's mother is a woman who has already watched this once before, and she feels she knows how this ends. And now I want you to hold everything you've just heard about Mene Ogidi in your mind, Waywayves. Hold the image of a man bound on the ground, asking for his life, being shot anyway, and hold on to the mother who has lost 2 sons to the same institution. Hold on to the spokesperson reaching for the spiritual, because the institutional language has no category for what happened. I want you to hold on to all of that and then move forward by exactly 1 day. And I want you to move from Delta State to Abuja and meet Abdulsamad Jamiu. Abdulsamad Jamiu was 24 years old. He was a civil engineer graduate from the Federal University of Technology, Minna. He was a serving NYSC corps member posted to Government Junior Secondary School back in Ado, Nasarawa State. He was due to pass out of the service next month, and he has done everything Nigeria asks his young people to do. He finished school, accepted his posting, showed up for his country, and on the night of April 24, in the early hours of Saturday, April 25, 2026, his parents were away in Okene, Kogi State for his paternal grandmother's burial. He was the eldest child in the house, so he was at home looking after his younger sibling. And at approximately 2 a.m., soldiers from the Guards Brigade Quick Response Force scaled the perimeter fence of the Jamiu family home at Shagiri Quarters, Deide, Abuja. And the falling barbed wire at the fence was still visible and physically verifiable at the scene hours later. They entered through the parlor door, they moved through the house, past the parlor door, and past everything between the entrance and the back of the building, and they went straight to Abdulsalam's room. A room tucked away in a far corner of the house, and when he heard people forcing their way in, claiming to be chasing a thief, Abdulsalam locked his door, as anyone would, as you would, Waywayves. And as every person who has ever heard unknown men forcing entry into their home in the middle of the night, as they would do. He locked the door to protect himself and his siblings, and the soldier fired through the closed door. And a bullet struck him in the head. Another struck him in the stomach, and he died in his own room, in his own home, behind a locked door that he had locked because he was trying to stay alive. Bullet pierced through the door, struck his skull, and left visible damage on the wall behind him. A straight line from outside the door to the wall opposite, and the physical record of what happened, his sister Farida was upstairs when the noise woke her up. She came downstairs and she encountered 3 men in military uniform. Let's just hear directly from Farida.
And then people started calling small. That was around 2 a.m.
So how did they enter your brother's room?
They jumped the fence.
Did they break your door to enter the house or window?
The exit door was open.
Okay. From behind. Okay, so they enter from behind.
Yes.
Okay.
So they contacted the police. When the police came, the soldiers and the police moved one side to they had a private discussion. Whenever I go close to them, they stop talking. Once I leave them, they continue talking.
They called the vigilantes.
Yes. So immediately they finished discussing, the police came and said, okay, we've concluded, we want to take him to the mortuary because we cannot leave him here. They now carried his body to the mortuary. After they carried the body to the mortuary, the soldiers were still around, so they called the area vigilantes to come. I wanted to enter, they said I should not enter, they blocked the gate. The soldiers said I should go out. They blocked the gate. and they entered. They cleaned his room, packed the bones and the brains that was on the floor because they shot him on the head. They packed everything, they mopped. I don't know how they entered the kitchen, they took clean, so they cleaned everywhere and instructed the vigilantes to go and bury it outside. Bury the brain inside our house here. Then they locked me outside and gave the vigilante the key and instructed the vigilante not to give anybody the key, that he should hold the key, should not give anybody the key. Then they called like 10 more soldiers to come. They came with the bike and they stood there and was taking pictures of themselves. They were snapping. They were snapping themselves. I had to go and meet the vigilante and beg the vigilante to give me the key. The vigilante, out of fear, the vigilante was telling me that Sojoji Sunche carry him back with his house. And the soldier said I should not give you. The soldier said I should not give you. I told him that, but you know me now. Is this not my house? Please give me my key. I want to enter my house. Just give me. Before the vigilante gave me the key. He was even scared. He was very afraid. It's like, I don't know what they told.
And the Nigerian Army official account initially said Abdulsalam was caught in a crossfire between the Guard Brigade Quick Response Group and armed robbers during a routine patrol responding to a distress call. And that account has been contradicted by the physical evidence, by every community witnesses, and eventually by the Army's own behavior after the fact. The community vigilante group, the people whose job is to know what happens in the day-to-day Shagari quarters at night, they confirmed that no armed robbery was reported in that community on the night in question. Every resident, every neighbor, every person in the area is consistent on one point. The only gunshot heard that night was a shot fired into the Jamiu family home. There was no crossfire, there was no exchange. There was a locked door and a bullet fired through it. And a 24-year-old man dying on the other side. Let's hear directly from the father of the killed copper.
The soldiers have been coming here since that day till today. They have been sending different delegation to the house. They have been coming. Even when the last one, before the investigating team came, when the other one come representing the chief of defense staff came, one Colonel S.O. Buhari, the first thing I told him that please, that post that they posted and that is going around on the air, we want that to be first to be removed or to be countered, because that does not really represent what happened in this area at all. There was nothing like crossfire. There was no exchange of gunshot from any robbers on that.
So, but the military is saying there was a case of armed robbery attack that they responded to.
There was nothing of such in the area, not even close to me, not even in the entire community. The only gunshot that the vigilante confirmed they heard was the only gunshot in my house. The part of the brain that was blown off was buried here by the vigilante, instructed by the military officers that perpetrated this evil act. So that is what is here. And we didn't know all this while until yesterday, when those vigilantes they are being interviewed. And since they cannot speak English, they don't understand English, and one of the interviewer that came yesterday was talking to them in the language they understand very well, which is Hausa language.
And during a subsequent military visit to the family home, the military police brought the soldiers involved back to the house for investigation, and they interrogated the local vigilantes who had aided them. And during that interrogation, the vigilantes confessed that they had buried Abdulsalam's skull behind the family's fence. His skull buried behind the fence of his own home. And his family just found out about this during a military investigation visit. Not even from a formal notification, not from a report, but from a confession extracted in the course of questioning people who had been there. Let's take a look at the confession of the vigilantes.
We were at the back of the town patrolling, but when we decided to come here, we peeked inside and saw the soldiers. When we saw the soldiers, we moved closer. If there hadn't been soldiers there, we wouldn't have gone in, we would have called the police instead. But seeing the soldiers is what made us come closer. The soldiers were already surrounding the area, so we assumed they were here for the same reason.
That day, was there a robbery attack?
No, nothing happened that day as far as I know. Did you hear of any robbery in a house or that thieves entered a house? To be honest, we didn't hear anything like that, just this incident.
And that detail, the buried skull, is the detail that ends any remaining possibility of the crossfire story being received in good faith by anyone who knows it. The Guard Brigade has expressed regret and has described the incident as a tragic loss. Let's take a look.
This cannot happen. Where, let us assume this person is a suspect who has already entered in an enclosed space. All you needed to do as a trained soldier, it's unheard of, is for you to surround that place. You surround that place and wait. If at all you get a call or a business call as they refer to it, then you invite whoever called you that. Who is the owner of this house? Then you commence investigation. It's unheard of for that unarmed human being. You shot it. We are even trying to manage the situation. You now go out there and put up a publication. Do you know how many social media and various media houses that publish the same nonsense we put up yesterday? Change the narrative all of a sudden. In fact, before leaving the house, my wife was telling me that the army will change the whole narrative. And I said, no, it's what they already admitted. They said, I told them, I said, the army, where the army me I know, they cannot deny this fact. But now, lo and behold, they ended up changing the whole narrative. This person we are talking about is the person he's passing out next month. Next month.
And the Guard Brigade has, they've expressed regret, and he has confirmed that a military police investigation is underway and has not retracted the crossfire narrative in any formal public statement. And the NYSC expressed deepest condolence and said that it's engaging with relevant security agencies. But the NYSC statement described Abdulsalam's death as an occurring operation in the vicinity of his residence, not inside his residence. An occurring operation during a military operation. And in the vicinity, 2 words. In the vicinity, they are doing enormous institutional work in that sentence because they are performing a distance from a bullet hole in the door and the damage on the door being behind it. They are performing a distance from the buried skull, and they are performing a distance from a family that is waiting for somebody with authority to tell the truth about where and how their son died. The vicinity of his residence is his home, his room, and the vicinity of his residence is the locked door. The Army and the NYSC both know this, and their languages have chosen to how much that knowledge weighs against the instinct to protect the institution. Waivers. 2 men, 2 days apart. One in Delta State, one in Abuja. One killed by a police officer who shot him on the ground in broad daylight while colleagues watched. One killed by soldiers who entered his room by 2 a.m. and fired through his locked door. In both cases, the killing was recorded or physically documented. In both cases, the institution responsible initially used languages designed to manage the story rather than account for the life. And in both cases, the public pressure generated by the evidence forced a faster institutional response that would have occurred without it. In both cases, an arrest has been made or an investigation is announced, and in both cases, promises of justice have been issued. And in both cases, the mother of the killed person is a Nigerian woman who will spend the rest of her life knowing how her child died and watching to see whether the country he was born into considers that death, what's the full weight of the justice system, or whether the weight of that system once again proved lighter than institutional convenience of moving on. These are not 2 isolated incidents happening to 2 unlucky individuals in a generally functioning system. These are 2 incidents in the same week by 2 different arms of the state against 2 people who presented no threat. Who were they supposed to be? Who were killed because the people with weapons decided to use them? That is not bad luck, that is a pattern. And the country cannot name it as a pattern it cannot fix. Waivers, drop your thoughts in the comment section about these issues. Let's hear it. On a more lighter note, our last story, Nigerian music fans woke up this week to exciting news from one of Africa's most respected global icons. On April 24, 2026, Benin's superstar Angélique Kidjo officially released her 19th studio titled Hope. And the project released via the Warner Music, it features an impressive list of collaborators, including Pharrell Williams, who produced 3 tracks and appeared on one, Quavo, Nile Rodgers, Charlie Wilson, and most notable for many African listeners, 2 of Nigerians' biggest Afrobeat stars, Davido on the track Joy and Ayra Starr on Ayeko. The album, dedicated to Kidjo's late mother, Yone, is being described as a joyful, groove-heavy celebration of resilience and unity in difficult times. It blends our signature Beninese traditional sound with modern Afrobeat energy, the high life, gospel, and global pop, creating what many are calling a powerful cross-generational bridge between African music past and its present. And while this collaboration announcement lit up Instagram, TikTok, and Afrobeat fan pages with pride and excitement, another music-related story was unfolding on the other side of the conversation, because just days earlier, Nigerian singer Benson, formerly known as Buju, had fired back at American rapper Fat Joe over comments made on the Joe and Jada podcast. During the episode featuring Jamaican dancehall legend Buju Banton, Fat Joe boasted that he and others had bullied and dissed the then Nigerian artist on television while guest hosting the Wendy Williams show in 2022 for using the stage name Buju. He referred to Benson as a, and I quote, a fake guy in Africa using the Buju name, end quote. And he claimed that they forced him to change it because there is only one Buju Banton. Let's take a look at the video.
Buju, you know, was a guy in Africa, fake guy, used a Buju name. You know, I dissed him on TV. This was when I was hosting the, what was it, the Wendy Williams show? Shut him down. He changed his name. Yeah. I told him there's only one Buju Banton, the Don Gargamel, this, that. On TV, it went back to Africa. The guy changed his name. Now he's X1312 or something. Motherfucker changed his name. I don't play that shit.
And then Buju.
Fuck that.
You know, like, most people, they get their name from their friends. They get a name from, you know, doing some stupid shit and people name them. My name came from my mom. Yeah. So it wasn't a name given to me by my friends. And I took the name Banton due to my adoration for Buru Banton and his musical delivery in the dancehall, you know, because ever so often we have to keep reminding the people that there's a distinguished difference between a DJ in Jamaica and a DJ here. A DJ here is the guy who plays the music. The DJ in my country is the guy who hold on to the microphone and talk on the version, speaks on the beat. So prominent one from in those years, Buru Bantam, you know, came to America, made a name for himself. So the Buju came from my mom and the Bantam came from my adoration for his craft and how he displayed his musical talent in the dance. So it's not something that is given to me by friends and so on and so forth. So when a young man came and said the name Buju, I knew the problem it poses because automatically most of the algorithms is run now by a certain way. So now all the algorithms start getting confused. They don't know who's Buju. So we have to regulate that to make sure that, you know what I mean, you have to go find a new name.
And Benson responded sharply on social media, accusing Fat Joe of spreading misinformation about African artists and telling him to, as I quote, educate yourself, bozo, end quote, while making a pointed remark about hate in his heart. These two stories appearing almost back to back offer a fascinating contrast worth examining more deeply, because if we fast forward to 2022, when Daniel Benson first burst into the scene as Buju, many praised his smooth vocals and emotional delivery on hits like Outside and Felony. However, the similarity to the iconic Jamaican name, it quickly became an issue. Benson eventually rebranded to Benson, and officially citing branding and potential copyright concerns. And at the time, the name change was seen by some as a smart career move, and by others as an unfortunate necessity in an industry where Western and Caribbean gatekeepers still hold significant symbolic power. And now in 2026, the Kidjo album and the Fat Joe Benson exchange, it sits side by side and it quietly reveals something important about the current state of African music on the global stage. On one hand, Angélique Kidjo's project feels like a beautiful, mature celebration of Africa's musical evolution. Here is a 5-time Grammy winner and a pioneer who has spent decades carrying Benin's rhythm and African stories to the world, choosing to feature young Nigerian stars like Davido and Ayra Starr. It is not tokenism, it is a deliberate passing of energy and respect. And Kidjo is not borrowing from Afrobeats for relevance. She is integrating it as a natural continuation of the African sound she has championed since the 90s and the 80s. And the album positions Afrobeats not as a trend, but as a vital living part of the broader African musical family. And on the other hand, the Fat Joe incident exposes a lingering tension that many in African music communities still feel the sense that some voices in the African, American, and Caribbean diaspora, they view continental African artists through a lens of superiority or ownership. Fat Joe's tone describing a young African artist as fake for sharing a name struck many as condescending, and critics have pointed out that stage name as borrowed and reinvented across cultures all the time. I mean, American artists have taken from African, from Jamaica, from the Latin roots without similar public shaming. And the strong backlash from Benson and his supporters, he highlights a growing confidence among African artists. I mean, they're no longer willing to quietly accept being positioned as junior or lesser players in the global black music conversations. Angélique Kidjo, at this stage of her legendary career, has a cultural capital and institutional backing with major labels' involvement and global tours to invite Davido and Ayra Starr as equals. So this feels like genuine collaboration between generations and regions within Africa and its diaspora. And in contrast, the Benson Fat Joe exchange happened in a podcast setting where the host controlled narratives and framed the African artist as the outsider who needed correcting. While one story is showing mutual elevation, the other is reviewing old dynamics of gatekeeping. And some would argue that Benson's fiery response, while understandable, he gave the story more oxygen than it deserved. And others would say it was necessary, a pushback against a pattern where African success is celebrated only when it fits neatly into the existing diaspora narratives. Meanwhile, Kidjo's album is being praised for doing what many wish happened more often, which is letting the music itself bridge gaps rather than forcing artists to fight over respect. And in the end, the two momentos happening within the same week, it paints a realistic picture of where African music stands in 2026. It is undeniable, powerful, commercially dominant, and creatively rich, yet it navigates complex questions of respect, ownership, and how different parts of the Black African diaspora relate to each other. Kidjo's hope, it feels like a hopeful statement that when elders and young stars choose collaboration over competition, the entire culture wins. And the Benson Fat Joe's part, however, is a reminder that old attitudes die hard and that a new generation of African artists is increasingly unwilling to stay silent when they feel disrespected. The conversation continues on social media. Waivers, you can also join in this conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. With some, celebrating the album as a win for the African unity, and others using the same name dispute to debate deeper issues of cultural hierarchy. Both stories in their own way, they show that African music is no longer asking for the seat at the table. It's building its own and deciding who gets invited. And that's it for today, Waivers. The anger pouring out on social media is not just about two isolated incidents. It's about a painful pattern that has refused to end. Nigerians are tired. They're tired of watching young people killed by the same institutions who sworn to protect them. They're tired of hearing the same promises of swift and transparent justice that rarely ever deliver. Tired of mothers burying their children while officers reach for excuses instead of accountability. Mene Ogidi and Abdulsamad Jamiu did not deserve to die this way, no. No young Nigerian should have to beg for his life while tied up or lock his room in his own home only to be shot through it. The video evidences are clear, the bullet hole is real, and the buried skull is horrifying. People have seen enough. And while Angélique Kidjo's hope reminds us of the beauty, the resilience, and unity possible in African music, the death of these two young men exposes the ugly reality we continue to live with. The real hope Nigerians need right now is not just in albums, it is in the security system that stops killing its own people and starts protecting them. And until authorities move beyond press statements and actually punish those responsible, from the officers who put the trigger to the system that enables it, the outrage will only continue to grow louder. Because Nigerians are no longer willing to accept excuses they want justice, and I mean real justice, for Mene Ogidi, for Abdulsamad Jamiu, and for every family that has lost a child to this sexual violence. The music will keep playing, but the blood must stop. This is Waywayves Daily, where we go beyond headlines to bring down the political, the economic and social forces shaping the world today and how they directly impact Africa and Africans everywhere. If you are not already part of the family and you have gotten to this point, do me a quick favor, hit that subscription button right now. And while you're there, tap the notification bell so you never miss a new video when it drops. We post daily, and trust me, you don't want to be the last one hearing about these stories. Also drop in the comment section right now, Wavers, where you're watching from and what's happening in your city, in your town, or the corner of the world. Big or small, politics, vibes on the streets, social issues, celebrations, anything. Bring it to our notice, because we read every single one and sometimes even feature them in future videos. I am your host, Yanoluwa Bamishile. See you tomorrow.